Hey coaches, this is Coach Parker with CoachParker.org. How you guys doing today? Hey, today I've gotten several people ask me about what is jaw or jaws blocking and how do you do it. And so since I've had like 3 people this week ask me about it, I decided to give you a little video about what it is. And most of you guys are watching via YouTube, so you can see the chart on here. It's basically inside track block. It is from my JAWS Coaching Football O-Line Blocking eBook for $7 over at CoachParker.org. I've got some other books out there, and so we're going to be talking about that today. But before we get really into it, please subscribe if you get a chance, comment, like, share, hit the notify button, all that good stuff. It doesn't cost you anything and helps me out a ton. So let's talk about jaw blocking and what that is. I came up with jaw blocking because it's really just a simplified God rule, gap on, down. And jaw basically is just an inside severe angle track block to basically eat up all the defenders into the middle of the field over the center. And so and I call it jaws because when I teach it, it's kind of like a crocodile jaw, and you can see the crocodile here over the center. And when I teach it and I show them what I'm talking about, especially this works for 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds. 9-year-olds kind of get God and the rule and how to go through it. Some of the younger kids just can't grasp going through their rule. Is somebody on the gap inside, somebody on them? Do I go down or what do I do? So jaw just became a very simple rule. And then I found out it was pretty effective too for off tackle plays, even at older levels. But so this is the jaw. So it's a crocodile jaw is how I explain it. And that's the reason the name is. And so basically when I'm talking about it and try to show them, I'll set an offensive line up and I will back myself up to the center and put my arms out, both right and left, stretched out, and my hands will probably be on top of their helmets. And then my hand comes together like I'm clapping, they'll be far out, and then I'll clap and I'll say, that's the crocodile jaws eating up the defense. And I can show them that, they're going to block inside and they're going to basically track block like my hands. And when they do, and I'll have them walk with my hands, they will be looking at each other basically over that center line at center. And so we're going to jaw block and eat up the defense in the crocodile jaws. And that's how I teach it. And really, if you look at the chart here, everybody's blocking at a more than a 45-degree angle. I call it about probably a 33-degree angle, hard down. So their first step is their inside foot, and it's really going to step almost over, very close to the outside foot of their inside guy. So it's almost a lateral step, but it's not. But you're stepping kind of in the front of the foot of your next guy. And then your second step is a directional step to get you on your path or your track. And then you're going to chop step on a track out. You're not really assigned to man because it's kind of a zone kind of thing. You're not assigned a man, you're assigned a track. And as soon as you touch somebody, you've got that person. Now, if that person wants to run away from you, you let them go and you keep going on your track. This is great. The jaw is great for double teams and triple teams on the line of scrimmage, and will sometimes eat up linebackers also, and because there's just a mass of people in the way. It's not a wedge because you're not wedging in. You're just inside track blocking because it's a very simplified God block rule. So here it is on another chart. You can see their steps. Their first step, I've got my pointer here, will be inside. They'll step up there, and you see everybody's tracking. The center's just going straight, or he may get log jammed there, and that's fine because we're just trying to basically get everybody bunched up into the middle of the field here. And that way, when that happens, we can run to these holes here very simply off tackle plays because everybody's basically jawed down into the middle of the field. And you can see on this next chart, my second and third and fourth, fifth, sixth steps here. And we're really going to jaw up until everybody basically, and let me get out of this draw program here and hit this. Let's see if I can get out of that. Yeah, everybody then is going to be lined up on their track. If you see me going, they're going to, be tracking up. Like right here. In their little, if I grab that thing, you can see they're tracking, and he's tracked up from here on his track. There's the track. There's the track. Here's the track. There's the track. Now you'll ask me what happens, what happens when they don't have anybody to block. So let's go back down here and say if there's some people, they're going to kind of hunt. They're going to try to track. That guy's got a track, so he's tracking. This guy, he can help there, and this guy can help here. But let's say this guy's way up here for whatever, and they're in a 5-2, and they've left this thing over here. We're going to run over here probably. So this guy will track, and there's nobody, and so then he'll say, okay, I'm going to come off of my track after 5 or 6 steps, and I will then pick that guy up. But he's still going down. They're not going to get too much off of that inside track. And so that first step is, if you bring it down here, and I've got my 2 feet here, that first, and let's put my guys next to me, and let's change colors of these since we don't like those colors. So we know it's another guy's foot. Let's say he's got black cleats on here. This guy here, his first step on this track is like right there. You see that? It's really, really at a very, very tight angle there. And then my second step is going to get me on my directional track here. And then they just continue on a path on that track. And so that's jaw. It's a very simplified God rule. And let's go down here to God, which is gap on down. And you can see the majority of people are just tracking, or just kind of going down like that. And I got it from what's the severe angle stuff that the Gregory double wing folks were using. And there was a whole presentation on severe angle blocks. And I just simplified it to inside. I use track blocking, Roger, which I call for right, and Larry, sort of like a simplified zone block where we just basically right track block and left track block. And you can see that on Larry there. And you can see it on Roger here on this chart, where everybody just starts tracking to the right and they inside just like they, in the play side guys, or it could be offside play guys. It depends on how I've called it, because I call it play and opposite play side, depending on some of the defensive setups. But they're just going to track all the way to the sideline, instead of when jaw, they're tracking to themselves because they're all inside. Roger, half of the side of the group will track inside, and then half of the side of the line will track outside. Because it's a right track versus they're all inside tracking. So that's Roger and Larry, and you can see the charts here. Very effective on sweeps, especially if you've got a defense flowing to the sweeps real heavily. You can this is kind of a cheap zone block, I call it. And then, of course, you've got God here, and I can go more over this, but God is just a rule that you go, okay, if I'm a guard, is anybody in my inside gap? Yes or no? And here's the explanation to it right here. So and this is all in my Jaws blocking book. It's got other rules. It's got a ton of stuff in there. So you should pick it up if you're not understanding all this. But you can see the first thing here, is there a guy in the inside gap? Yes or no? Is a guy on me? Yes or no? Is there somebody down? Yes or no? And you can look at it here and see what you've got. So, yeah, that's the progression. So Jaws, is I think I was coaching a little 7-year-old team, very rookie team, and they were not getting how to go through that rule setup. Is somebody on you? I mean, somebody inside, yes or no? Somebody on you. They didn't get that, and I was having a really hard time getting that explained to them. And then I was like, okay, there's got to be something simpler. I'm right and left track blocking anyway. Maybe I just should have everybody track down and eat up the defense. And then I thought, well, this is just like it's being eaten by a crocodile or an alligator. And so that's how I came up with calling it Jaws and having the crocodile as the logo there. And it works it works well, especially at younger ages. And you can have, your inside guy's jaw, your 5 inside linemen, and your tight ends can do hinges or something else to help out there if you're trying to run to the outside, or have your fullback do a lot of the outside trap, kick out, or log blocks there for you on that kind of thing. It does plug up the middle a little bit, but it's almost a wedge in a way when you just run up in there and then the little kid will pop out because everybody's just bullying everybody over. So, that's how it is. And again, because everybody's asking me about it, is this first step, you're almost stepping over your inside guy's outside foot, and, he's going to step, the same way. He's going to step inside. Whoops. He's going to step inside there. And then his second step is going to be directional too. And then he's getting on his track and he's going off. So that is a quick explanation of jaw blocking. And I'll put that main chart back up there so you could see it. So basically everybody's tracking hard inside on a block. There's no assigned man. It's kind of a zone. As soon as you hit somebody, you pick them up. We're trying to create double teams and triple teams and wash everybody to the middle of the field. It's really great for off tackle plays because all the defense and even the linebackers will get in that wash of players. We found out even at older ages it works. And I call it on Beast a lot because it's just very simple to call. So, it's not as effective on linebackers. If they're running a 4-4, you're not going to pick up a lot of people in that. So, but at really young ages, if they're running 4-4s, you're probably going to do well anyway because those linebackers are so backed off. But that's my opinion there. So there's the track, the inside track block, which I call jaw or jaws. And that's what that looks like. Hopefully I've explained it good enough. If I haven't, leave me a comment. I'll try to send you this and answer your stuff. If you get a chance, head over and buy that Jaws ebook over at Coach Parker. I've got some other books there, Power I, Double Wing, Riding a Wing Tee now, and always the Power Wing Beast and 6'2 Multi-8 Defense and Wildcat. So I've got those over there too. If you can't do that or you've already bought books and want to help me out, hey, subscribe to the channel. It's free, doesn't cost you anything, helps me out a ton. Hit the notify button, link, comment, share, all that good stuff. That really helps me out. And here's the Jaws book right there. And hey, remember, because I think we're done, to play for fun, and winning is funner. As always, this is Coach Parker with CoachParker.org. See you guys next time. Ciao.